Thank you so much for coming to this episode from the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel. I appreciate you being here. Give me 10 minutes of your time, and I'm going to show you how you can earn an extra $100,000 or more in Social Security benefits as long as you know how the new rules affect you, which means you have to be born before January 2nd, 1954. If you were born before January 2nd, 1954, and you're a spouse, even if you're a divorcee, you could earn an extra $100,000 from Social Security. Let me show you how this is going to work, because it's fascinating, and it shocks me that more people don't get how this can affect them. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a spouse. We're going to take Jane and Bob. And for right now, we'll just say they're married. It doesn't matter. If you're divorced, there's a certain little twitch the rule, which I'll get into here in just a second. But the same thing is applicable as long as you were married. This will affect you, and as long as you were born before January 2nd, 1954. So what we're going to say is Bob is a retired radiologist. He spent all his money. He made the maximum amount he could in Social Security benefits. So he will draw the most that you're allowed to in Social Security, which means his average index monthly earnings is $9,144. Now, I have lots of other videos on this that you can figure out what that means, AIME, and I'm not going to get into that here. But his average index monthly earnings is $9,144, which is the max under the Social Security system. Social Security has their own little calculator to figure out how much his benefit amount will be based on that max AIME. And the benefit amount is called a PIA. Other videos on the primary insurance amount. You've got to understand the primary insurance amount too. And so basically on these bend points, his PIA will be $2,809. So when Bob turns 66, his full retirement age, his PIA is going to be $2,809. That's how much he'll get from Social Security at his full retirement age at 66. If you're born in 1960 or beyond, your PIA is at the age of your full retirement age. It's 67. So this is not applicable to you. This whole video really isn't applicable to you anyway, because if you're born after January 2nd, 1954, what I'm going to talk about here, it doesn't matter. You can't benefit from it. January 2nd, 1954 stinks. January 1st, 1954, you're a good place to be, and you're going to watch, and I'm going to show you how you can make an extra $100,000 without doing anything. I'm not going to sell you an annuity or anything like that. It's just using the Social Security law as it is applicable today. All right. So now Jane stayed home to raise the children. All right. So, say Bob and Jane have 3 or 4 kids, whatever. She sacrificed her career to be there for the kids. So she didn't have a lot of average index monthly earnings. She did want to go work for a nonprofit, maybe making $10 an hour. Once the oldest was out of high school, and they're empty nesters. So let's just say for 15 years, she averaged $2,000, and that is her AIME, her average index monthly earnings. What that means is, with the bend rates of Social Security, Jane's PIA is $1,159 at her full retirement age. Again, 66. All right, so we're going to say Jane and Bob's full retirement age is 66. All right, so that's what she can draw on under her record. So Bob, when he hits 66, can draw that. Jane can draw that. All right, now here is where the rules have changed. This is the Social Security website. What does the recent claiming changes mean for me? All right, so basically what Social Security did and how the law is changing. Under the existing law, if you are eligible for benefits both as a retired worker and a spouse or divorced spouse, in the first month you want your benefits to begin or not yet full retirement age, you must apply for both benefits. You'll receive the higher of the 2 benefits. This requirement is called deemed filing, because when you apply for one benefit, you are deemed to file for the other. So basically what they're saying is, at the end of the day, when you go file for your benefit, they're going to pay you the most of either your spousal benefit or your own benefit. That's what the rule is now. But what happens is, if you're born before January 2nd, 1954, you can go down there and say, I don't want my own benefit. I want to file a restricted application and get the benefits from my spouse. You cannot do that anymore, other than that select cohort of people, those before January 2nd, 1954. And here's what they say right here. Who will be affected? If you turn 62 on or after January 2nd, 2016, again, it's January 2nd, 1954, if you were born that day, and will be eligible for benefits both as a retired worker and a spouse or divorced spouse. The new law is applicable to you, which I just talked about. Deemed filing applies to retirement benefits, not to survivor benefits. So again, this isn't for widows or widowers. Deemed filing does not apply if you receive spousal benefit. I don't need to talk about that. Let me actually go to this one instead. Yeah, right here. If you were born before January 2nd, 1954, and again, this is another off the Social Security website, and have reached full retirement age, again, that's 66 for this cohort of people right here, you can choose to receive only the divorced spouse. This is from the divorce page of Social Security, but it's also for the spouse. You can choose to receive the spouse's benefit and delay your retirement benefit until a later date. If your birthday is January 2nd, 1954 or later, the option to take only one benefit at full retirement age no longer exists. So this is right here is from if you are divorced. And here's the last page from Social Security for benefits for your spouse. And it says, could not be clearer. Watch, my friends, watch. If you were born before January 2nd, 1954 and have already reached full retirement age, you can choose to receive only the spouse's benefit and delay receiving your own retirement benefit until a later date. So remember, it's for divorcees and it's for spouses, divorcees and spouses. If you were married, this is going to be applicable to you as long as you were born before January 2nd, 1954. So let me show you how this is going to work in real live numbers. All right. So we got Jane. She's been married to Bob. Bob filed for his benefit. All right. So his benefit is 2809. He took out his full retirement age. Jane says, I'm going to take my benefit as well. But before she does, she happens to talk to a smart financial planner. And the smart financial planner says, whoa, hold on there. Don't take your benefit. Take your spousal benefit instead. And what that means is, let me move myself out of the way here. Jane's spousal benefit is 1/2 of Bob's PIA. So it's 1/2 of this right here. In fact, you can see I did a quick calculation. Bob's spousal benefit is 2809. Bob's benefit is 2809. Jane's spousal benefit is 1/2 of that, which is $1,400. So Jane says, I'm not going to take my own benefit. I'm going to restrict my application and instead get my spousal benefit from Bob, which is 1/2 of his PIA, his primary insurance amount. Now, what's going on here? So now Jane automatically makes another, let's see, 1,400 over 1,159, 1,404 minus 1,159. Jane's already making $245 a month. Let me write that down. Because she's taking her spousal benefit other than her own benefit based on her own work history. But here's the kicker. Every year she defers filing for her own benefit. This benefit grows by 8%. So here's Jane's benefit with those 8% delayed earnings credits. And at 67, it'll be $1,251. At 68, it'll be $1,344. Then finally at 70, because an 8% delayed earnings credits stop. They stop when you hit 70. Her benefit's going to be $1,530. So now what's going to happen is she'll lose this benefit here because she'd rather take the one that pays $130 a month more. All right, so remember, Bob had to file, so Bob has to be receiving benefits. If you're divorced, he doesn't have to be. Now, there's caveats there, but just remember, if you're divorced, you don't know what Bob's doing, and he doesn't have to be receiving benefits today. If you're married, Bob has had to have filed for this to be applicable. But again, we're going to say he filed at his full retirement age. Jane says, I'm going down to Social Security with you, Bob. I'm going to file for my own benefit, and I'm going to restrict it so I can get my spousal benefit, which will pay me more, and it allows my own benefit to grow 8% a year until I hit 70. So let's do a quick calculation. So now we're going to say Jane lives till she's 90 years old, okay, which is if you have a husband and wife, there's a 50% chance one of those spouses, most likely the woman, is going to live till she's 90. So we're going to say Jane lives until she's 90. So in this case, she has 20 years of making 1530 months. So we're going to do 20. We're going to do so we're going to do 15. We're going to do this right here equals this times 12 which is that. All right. That's going to give us $18,630 a year in Social Security benefits. But we're going to times it by 12. So we're going to do it by 20, because she's going to get it for 20 years times 20. So she's going to get a $367,000 based on her own earnings history with her delayed earnings credits until she's 90 years old. But don't forget, she also has this benefit for 4 years as well, because from 66, she was getting that per month until she turns 70. So we're going to go that time that equals this times 12, and that's going to give her $16,856, and we're going to do that for 4 years, equals this times 4. So her total benefit is, now we're going to equal this right here. We're going to make, see if I can get myself out of the way. I don't see the thing for that. Either way, we're going to do this equals this. Oh, watch out, man. This plus that. And so her total benefit that she'll receive will be $434,000. Now, what if she just took this instead? All right, so now she says, I didn't talk to a good financial planner, or no one I saw on YouTube gave me some good insight into my financial planning. So I just went down there, and the folks at Social Security are so flipping busy. They didn't have enough time to tell me about the restricted application rules that are applicable to me. So I'm just going to take my own benefit at my primary insurance amount at my full retirement age, which is 1159. And I'm going to do that we have 24 years. So 24 years, again, 66 until she's 90. That's 24 years. We're going to times that by 12 months. That's 288 months. So we're going to do this times that times $288 a month. Look at that. What's the difference? So now watch this. That minus that. $100,806.48, my friends. That's how much you could get from Social Security by understanding how the rules apply. $100,806.48. That is real money. If you were born before January 2nd, 1954, you have got to understand the rules on how Social Security works, because that is money. That's your money. I was arguing with a guy on YouTube, a nice guy, arguing is too strong, debating a guy. He says, they shouldn't be able to do that. Well, they can. It's completely legitimate. It's completely the law. Jane over here sacrificed her career for the benefit of society to raise her children, so her children won't be out there slinging rock cocaine and stuff like that. And so that extra $100,000 is not a gift from society to her. It's her money that she sacrificed for not working to make sure her kids are in good shape. That's a fact. Can kids become crazy when they're married, when a woman or husband stays at home? Absolutely. By and large, that's not the case. By and large, children from two-parent families with a stay-home mom or dad are going to be a little bit better off to deal with the intricacies of society. That's a fact. You don't have to agree with it. I don't care. And because Jane did that and sacrificed, and Bob might have done it too, but because Jane did that and sacrificed her career, this is not a gift. It's not going on the dole. It's not welfare or anything like that. That's not a gift. That's her money that she sacrificed to get her kids as squared away as possible. And that's her money, and she should get it. And unfortunately, there's not that many people right now who are talking about how she can get it, which is crying shame. Ultimately, what's going to happen here is Bob's probably going to die off before Jane does. If that were the case, then Jane would lose this right here, this 1530, and she'd gather his instead. Some strategies there. We want to make sure that there's some strategies there for further planning along those lines. I'm not going to get into this episode. But just remember, we're talking six figures, $100,806.48 back to Jane. That's taxed much, much more favorably than any other kind of account that's out there. That's 100% guaranteed. And by the way, we're not even talking about cost of living adjustments either. Restricted applications. As I sign off here today, if you were born before January 2nd, 1954, and you're considering taking Social Security, and you are married or you were divorced and you're not considering a restricted application, you are wrong. You need to talk to Social Security for your restricted application. It simply says as long as your spouse is filed, and again, this is for married, has filed and is claiming benefits coming in, you can restrict your application and get your spousal benefits, which is half of his or hers, and allow your own benefits to grow at that 8% a year clip. And then at 70 years old, you can sacrifice your spousal benefits and instead get your own record off there with 8% delayed earnings credits. And divorcees is a little bit more favorable. Your ex-spouse doesn't have to have filed for benefits, and this would be applicable to you. So hope this helps. By all means, if you have questions, if you need some help, contact me. Go to heritagewealthplanning.com. Send me an email at josh@heritagewealthplanning. I'll put all these links up here in the show notes, and I wish you the best as it comes to determine your own Social Security. Anything I can do, please let me know. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on the Heritage Wealth Planning YouTube channel. Thanks, guys.